Kelly, Jamie, Sandy is a monster storm and continues to move ever closer to Maryland. Now getting close to North Carolina, about 300 miles off of Cape Hatteras. We're already getting buoy reports with winds to 60, pushing 70 miles per hour. The max winds in the center at 75 miles per hour. Hurricane Hunter aircraft are just in there. The distance from Maryland now just over 500 miles. Well, again, with that north movement at 12 miles per hour. It is a huge storm across the Atlantic basin here. Reports now that this is now the largest storm, largest hurricane in terms of size, in terms of gale force winds the Atlantic basin has ever seen. Look at the reach, 1,000 plus miles across from gale force edge to gale force edge. So again, just a monster storm here now. I tell you, the overall system here, you can see the core of circulation just south of Cape Hatteras. It's going to continue to come up the coast, eventually beginning to impact Maryland with those outer bands tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, with rain getting heavier, winds beginning to pick up, and then the main storm will arrive actually not until Monday night. But impact starting tomorrow and lasting right into our Tuesday. There's going to continue to be big changes here with the system. And as we take a look at the setup here, you can see Maryland's most powerful radar still shows those outer rings of rain actually already beginning to reach into the lower eastern shore. And that's where some of the highest rain totals may be, respecting over 6 inches of rain, isolated totals to 10 inches. That will create flooding on its own. If there's good news to report to you this evening, it's this. The track has shifted just slightly north, south central New Jersey, but we are still in that cone of probability. And even if this track verifies, if it were to take the center line, we'll still be impacted with tremendous amounts of rain, wind, power outages. The one thing we'd miss out on is that huge coastal surge, which happens just north of the center of the storm. But again, it's a massive system. And why do we call it a superstorm in this situation? Because unlike most hurricanes, this will not weaken as she comes further and further north. There's some warm waters off Virginia that will help fuel her, and then jet stream energy dipping down and feeding into the system as we go into Monday night and Tuesday. That will allow the system to stay right there at Category 1 hurricane power, churning over the mid-Atlantic for several days right through Tuesday. And there will be snow in the mountains on the backside of this thing. A lot of cold air coming in. For more on the storm, let's head over to meteorologist Mike Masco. Hey, Mike.
You know, I noticed that the advisory now has around 960 wide. And, you know, it's kind of a minor detail, but maybe an indication we're strengthening, you know, starting to see maybe some strengthening with this storm. So that's what we're going to be watching. All right, we'll take you to the boards and show you what's going on. What you need to know right now is everybody under a flood watch. We're expecting massive rains from this system. Flood watch up through Wednesday afternoon, Tuesday, Wednesday, coastal flood advisories, bay advisories out for some really high tides as we go into Monday and Tuesday time frame. We're expecting tremendous winds from this. A high wind watch has been posted for the entire state. Take a look at some of our winds at the present moment. Got a sustained wind in Norfolk at 32 miles per hour with a gust at 40. So that's an indication of the winds that are going to slowly push up the coast during the course of the overnight. So again, anticipating max sustained winds between 45 to 50 miles an hour, gusting to 55 for much of the state. Higher gust out towards the eastern shore and tremendous rain, 6 to 8 inches possible. So this is going to be a massive flood threat. High impact storm, power loss potential, very high from Baltimore City, much of the state. And you look out towards the west, by the way, expecting close to 2 feet of snow out near Garrett County going into the foothills of West Virginia. We're going to talk more about this storm in detail. We're also going to update some tracks for you. That's coming up in just a little bit. Guys, we'll send it on to you.
All right, and you said somebody already feeling something?